today we're gonna be installing one of the most practical mods you can put on your car. Hey guys, hope you're doing well. Got a package in from Cita, and honestly, this is pretty long overdue for this car. Now, our project for today is to install a new set of hood struts. If you're unfamiliar with hood struts, you might be familiar with hood props. So a hood prop is this piece right here that you use to prop up your hood. Hood struts, on the other hand, are little struts that come right here. Those catch the hood as you're lifting it and hold it upright, similar to how a trunk functions. And that's what we have here today. Now, the vehicles that most commonly come with hood struts out of the factory are usually performance-based. So if you have hood struts on your car, you got a performance car. I don't make the rules. But this is a really nice upgrade because it has a ton of practicality. Say you're doing just general maintenance, an oil change or something, your workspace is a lot more open and uninterrupted. Say you're going to a car show and you want to pop the hood. Pop the hood. It has a lot of clean aesthetic upside because it looks really, really nice. And on top of that, it can really modernize your engine bay. The best thing about this kit from Cita is it requires no modification, no drilling, none of that. All you're doing is using the existing mounting points with the supplied hardware in this kit. Now, I usually film in the other garage, but it's been raining pretty bad. Granted, it's not raining right now, so that's why I'm taking this opportunity to go for this. Because of that, not wanting to move the cars around, get them dirty and whatnot. So we don't have a table, but we're gonna use my trunk. Also, did you know Jerry Rice came out with an energy drink? Because I didn't, and I saw it at the gas station the other day. So I've basically been trying out all the different flavors, because he has a bunch. This one is tropical berry. Let's see if it's any good. It's pretty good. I'll give it like an 8 out of 10. So in here, we've got paper. Mounting pieces, whatever you want to call them. Not too sure about a lot of the terminology on these things, but these are the plates that we mount somewhere. Got the 2 struts themselves right here. And that's it. So you literally get just these 3 bags, which means it should be relatively simple. Granted, I haven't seen anyone do it on YouTube, so I don't necessarily have some perspective on it, but should be able to knock this out pretty easily. So let's go ahead and get to it. Also want to give a big shout out to Cita for these because they primarily make Mustang and Ford truck parts, but they even got some parts for us Fusion guys as well. Also, I'm changing my rating, 9 out of 10. All right, so I went ahead and did one side, the passenger side, just so I could get a feel for how to do it, so I could more adequately walk you guys through the process. I did actually find an instruction manual online, so I'm gonna link that in the description box down below, along with the link for this kit. But it's pretty easy. I'll honestly say it took maybe about 20 minutes, but now that I've got some perspective, let me walk you through it. So you've got 2 plates like this, and they're basically just mirrored. Now these holes are meant to match the bolts for your strut tower. So you got the 2 bolts right here. So this one is for the passenger side, which means this one is for the driver's side. So you can see when I position it here, this is the proper side. It has this little knob on the end that is one of the mounting points for the struts. This is the thing you're gonna install first. So you're gonna need a 10mm as well as a 13mm socket. The bolts on the strut tower are 10s and the bolts on the hood are 13. Now to give you a real quick visual, this plate mounts onto the strut tower. The new hood strut attaches to it around there. And these pieces mount to your hood hinges right here. And same thing connects like that. So it's a pretty simple concept altogether. Just want to take a quick second to tell you about my partner for this video, Mint Mobile. You can join the nation's largest 5G network for as little as $15 a month. Switching is super easy, only takes about 15 minutes, and they sell to you directly online, so you can switch in the comfort of your own home, your garage, or even without getting out of bed. If you're interested, you can click the link in the description box down below, or also scan this QR code right here. All Mint Mobile plans include unlimited nationwide talk and text, plus lightning fast 5G and free mobile hotspot. If you're interested in reliable coverage and fast data for a fraction of the cost, go to mintmobile.com/Dito to get started. It's just /DITO. I want to give a big shout out to Mint. Now back to the video. You're gonna take these 2 bolts off of your strut tower. Also, a really cool thing about this kit is it's actually functional with the strut tower brace from Cita. They actually give you hardware if you're using that specifically. Granted, I don't have it, but it's pretty cool to know that all their pieces are compatible with each other. So there's one. And you do want to be careful to not jostle it or anything so the lines stay the same. Just taking your time and taking it step by step. You're gonna grab the plate, put it in position. You're gonna put the bolts right back where they were. I would suggest finger tightening them so you don't have to worry about them moving out of position or anything. And then from there, you just tighten them right back. And the goal is to get them as tight as they were before. As you can see, super sturdy, not going anywhere. Now we're moving our attention up here to these nuts. Now the hood is gonna wanna wobble and move around a little bit whenever you get this off, but it's not super difficult to hold just because it's pretty light more than anything. But you definitely wanna keep that into account by leaving them just a little bit loose so you can line everything up how it needs to be. Luckily for me, this car is a little bit older, so everything kind of wanted to sink right back to exactly where it was, which definitely helps a ton. And there was a little debris line that was made, so rather than cleaning it, I just used that as a guide to help line everything back up, which is all good on the passenger side. We just got to do the same for this driver's side. Now the strut tower plates are the only pieces in this kit that have a specific side. Everything else is exactly the same, including this hood bracket right here. Both pieces are exactly the same, as are the hood struts themselves. So now we're gonna remove these nuts from the bolts. And from this, you'll probably notice the hood moving around a little bit, but there's a decent chance that whenever you're putting these pieces back on, it's gonna want to go back to where it was. You don't have to worry too much with the first one. It's when the second one comes off that it wants to move around a little bit. But thankfully, because of the hood prop, it's not really gonna move around too much. It's just gonna wanna wobble a little bit. And before I fully take this off, I just wanna let you guys know that the easiest way to keep it in position is to push the hinge up, and everything should stay just about where it is. You can put the bracket right on. And now that you have the bracket on, you can put the nuts back. And that's what's gonna help you hold the hood, so you don't have to worry about it going everywhere. And this is exactly what I was telling you about. You see that little line of debris? That's very specifically where the hinge needs to go. So rather than clean it, we're gonna use it to our advantage. So that's actually where it's resting, so we're gonna start tightening it back up. Now I am alternating between the two, just so I don't have to worry too much about one pulling the other one out of position, because you don't want one pressed up to the point where it's pulling the other one out of position. This is just the easiest way to do it. And it'll go up relatively uniformly. So I am closing it to make sure it's lined up properly. This looks pretty good. Looks pretty good. Yeah, I think we've got it. Now the last piece for this install, the hood strut. So the main thing here is you don't need to force these into position. I was thinking that you could probably pull this back a little bit, but I've been unable to. You might be able to with a specific tool, but nonetheless, the thicker section actually goes towards the hood, and the thinner section goes towards the strut tower bracket. Now, because the strut tower bracket can't move, we're gonna put that piece on first. And the cool thing is, because this is basically just going over a sphere, you can do it almost directionally on top and then maneuver it after that. We're just gonna press it down. You'll hear that little click. Now, while this thing is mounted to the bracket, you'll actually see it can maneuver around a good bit, but it won't actually reach the bracket on the hood. So what you're gonna do is bring down the hood prop, raise the hood a little bit more, and then put it in position. Bringing the hood prop down. And you'll see we can raise the hood just a little bit more. That's all we really need to get this on there. You got the click right there. You can rotate the hood strut a little bit, make sure it's fully secure on the little prongs, and you're basically good to go. We can bring this down. So now the moment of truth. Yeah, that all works. And let's bring it back down. And right about here is where it disengages the hood struts, and you can actually just kind of let it go. So we can theoretically get it to that point, and then it'll take over. So that's really cool. It actually came out a lot smoother than I thought it would. And if you listen to the noise, I love that sound. There's also this height where it just kind of like floats. A gentle nudge. And there it goes. Now imagine you remove the hood prop by undoing this bolt where it's coming from, and there's probably some sort of mechanism where it's holding on there, but we'll do that in another video. Because my next plan of action is to optimistically take this out and see what it looks like with some proper lighting. The weather's cleaned up so I can give you some more perspective on this thing and some last bits of information. So here is it. Looking a little bit more specifically, and I don't know why they didn't come like this from the factory, because it's not really something that would take that much intent to put together, but the overall effect is just really, really nice. The hood now actually goes higher than the prop reaches, which is pretty cool because it gives you more clearance, and it makes sense. Granted, the hood was supposed to go a certain height so the prop could move around and get into position. Just a little bit that I noticed. And then referencing this point again, this is the lowest that it will hold it. Higher, it'll catch it and lift it all the way up, and lower, it'll basically just drop down. So because of that, you really don't have to worry about when the hood's shut, the struts actually like popping it and bulging it out of position, because it actually can't carry it below this. And then because you have one on each side, it distributes the weight evenly, so really mitigates any concerns right there as well. It really makes me wish we had a nice V8 under the hood, but what we've got is what we've got. for now. And then the last thing that I completely missed is this actually came with 2 stickers. I thought these were just like some little packaging thing, but they're stickers. So it comes with 2. And the last thing, I forgot about my Sita hat, which would have been really cool to wear throughout this install, but we got it now. I would definitely recommend this kit. It's a pretty easy upgrade and it gives you a ton of upside. Again, link is in the description box down below, but that's gonna do it for this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a great weekend, and I will see you in the next one.